thinkhighlevel.com. Project management, place to be. Everyday Project Management Part 1. How about I compare managing a project with driving to get to your very important job interview? Believe it or not, they both share the same principles to attain the desired objectives and outcome. You see, almost anything that requires an action where there is an objective with a start and finish date can be construed as a project or task, where success depends on how well you study the scope, how aware you are on the impacts of the unknowns and the knowns, and the preparations made to avail all the prerequisites. And most importantly, to clear all the roadblocks that may impede the before and during the execution of the task. Well, this is my story. It was a Monday morning, and I got a call to an 8 a.m. Friday job interview for a software training position. Back then, it was the opportunity of a lifetime. So after jotting down all the necessary information and sharing the excitements to my loved ones, I was immediately in Google doing research on everything I can get my hands on about the company and its business. I even printed the location from Google Maps, including various route options. There I found that the location was an hour and a half drive from home and in the middle of the metropolis where unfortunately a place I was not familiar with driving. Lastly, I took note on the weather forecast on the interview day. The following morning, I inquired from close friends about feedback on driving conditions to get to the address. I asked about options for parking and a good place to eat if ever I do get hungry. I also reviewed advanced functionality, the software applications I used for work, and the systems that I haven't used for some time. The same day I applied for a leave for 2 days, 1 day for the interview and a day before so I can scout the place and practice driving to it. Then Wednesday morning, before going to work, I took my car to the nearby auto repair shop for maintenance. It's been a while since it had an oil change, so I needed to make sure it will be in good condition before the big day. I woke up extra early Thursday morning to rehearse exactly how I will drive to the interview on the actual day. I followed the best route from Google Maps, combined with advice from my friends. As I was driving along, I got stuck in traffic for 2 hours due to bridge repair that seemed to take days to complete. But luckily, I knew this ahead of time, or else it could have been a complete disaster. Anyway, when I arrived to the location, I explored for the best parking spot. Then I sat down in a coffee shop near the lobby of the building and tried to observe the people working there, how they dressed up, whether they seemed happy. After all, I will potentially work there. Might as well see what it's like ahead of time. After an hour of observing, I went shopping for a decent pair of shoes and a new shirt. I also got a haircut, ate lunch, then went home using the alternate route at the same time checked the road condition. After dinner with my family, I was ready for bed. Friday morning at last. I couldn't contain the excitement. As expected, driving went smoothly. I arrived in the location 30 minutes early, so I had time for coffee and opportunity to go to the washroom to check my hair and fix my tie. I wasn't rushing at all. I had a fresh feeling, and more importantly, I felt confident. I knew I would do well because of the amount of preparation I did. So which project management principles apply? All I did was research, ask, plan, and more importantly, identify the unknowns and mitigate it. Oh yeah, I was always focused on attaining the goal. So here are my questions for you. Do you think it's worthwhile to spend more time planning and preparation before the main event like project execution, software development, construction, project launching? Could the result of my objective have been different if I didn't do so? After all, my project execution phase was just 2.5 hours, 1.5 hour drive, plus 30 minutes wait and an hour interview time. But the preparation time I spent doing my version of conceptual engineering, scope study, detailed design, prototyping, and procurement was far, far longer. Hence, the payoff was tremendous. Since doing any task is faced with so many potential threats for slowdowns and delays, you can reference the different process names, cycles created and developed by project management organizations, sophisticated PM software applications, and professional practitioners. But I tell you, managing a task comes down to the basics of just being ready. Next time, I will discuss how to apply these principles in a more multifaceted, multidisciplined, multi-result, and more complicated task or project. I would love to hear from you. All comments and suggestions are encouraged. And P.S. I did ace my interview, and it was the start of my wonderful journey to the world of project management.